is a story about the oldest bit of scripture that exists in the world. The oldest scripture that we have, for the most part, are the Dead Sea Scrolls. When I say bit of scripture, I mean literally the parchment of it, right? The Dead Sea Scrolls, which are from the 1st or 2nd century CE, which reproduced the Hebrew Bible with some variations, and also have various other scrolls that are interesting in their own right. But about 10 years, 15 years ago, some Israeli archaeologists found older bits of scripture. They found it right outside the walls of Jerusalem. Now, outside the walls of Jerusalem, there is a valley called Hinnom. That's where we know the Canaanites used to sacrifice their children. In fact, we've dug up altars that are human sacrificial altars, just like the ones you have in Mayan civilization, on which they used to sacrifice children. And for the Israelites, that was so horrendous, so unspeakably awful, that the Hebrew name for that place became synonymous with the Hebrew name for hell, Gehenna, right? That's where you get Gehenna, the word for hell in the Jewish tradition. Excavating in that area, they came upon these 2 rolled-up scrolls from about 586 BCE, when the city of Jerusalem was destroyed by the Babylonians. And, they spent a long time unrolling the constituent parts with all sorts of chemical means and appliances, and finally when they unrolled it, they found bits of scripture that are now 2,500 years old. And what they found was the priestly blessing. May God bless you and keep you. May God cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God turn his countenance to you and grant you peace. Which means that the oldest religious teaching we have of the monotheistic faith, found in the midst of hell, is a blessing of peace. And that seems to me actually to represent exactly what religion at its best teaches, which is that this is a world of tremendous pain and suffering and difficulty, and that you can't close your eyes to that, but that with God's help and each other's help, we can also wrest from this some measure of goodness, of blessing.
Shalom. Shalom.